So what we have here is a very special fishing pole. And Dad is going to fish for treasures that will help us tell a little bit of his story. Oh, it's right here. Here's your fishing pole. Wow. And let's see what comes out first.
Hope it's good.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's a big one. Just yank it.
Oh. Here, let me help you. What is in there? While we're thinking about it, we'll cast our line. What does this shirt say, Grandpa?
Oh.
Yeah, 1936. Oh.
What's really interesting is, so Dad was born in 1936 in Chicago to Violet and Richard Sparks. He grew up on the South Side with his brothers, Art and Don. One highlight of his childhood was having a dog named Duke. He ended up having 3 dogs named Duke. Duke the first, Duke the second, and Duke the third.
Creative.
So Dad, Christine and I thank you for passing on to us your love for dogs, because somehow we both have dogs all the time to enjoy. One of the lowlights of Dad's childhood was being a guinea pig for orthodontia. We've heard a few horror stories of how he'd go to this orthodontist that was something close to a torture chamber. So I know your grandkids and I and your other in-law kids all appreciate you being a guinea pig and sacrificing your mouth for science. So thank you for that. The other thing this says is all original parts. What's really amazing is that Grandpa is an incredible 80-year-old specimen. Want to flex for us, Grandpa? All original parts. And that is because he has never gotten any injury except for head injuries. And so he's perfectly fine.
I've been lucky. I've been head injuries. I could have been hurt.
Yep, that's body part. So you probably, I don't know if you know that one time, a while back, Ed was trimming a tree in his backyard. And he was on a ladder, and he took a header, and he landed right on his head. And he only needed a few stitches, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So
Solid ivory.
he survived that. And then, more recently, he was on the 5 and got rear-ended by the SDG&E truck.
Yeah.
And that really, well, tell your favorite story of that.
Well, he shoved me into a semi right in front of me.
Yep.
And
You woke up.
I woke up, I was in the ER, and this guy's got me by the head. He says, just hold still, I got 3 more staples to put in there. Where am I, in Home Depot?
So,
I didn't feel the first 27, that was what I was thankful for.
and we're also very, very thankful that Dad had not only a good Home Depot staple gun in the ER, but also an army of angels to protect him, because it really was a miracle that he survived that crash. So we're thankful too that you've had 80 very healthy years. So thank the Lord for that.
Amen.
Let's see what else is in that fishing hole. Oh, it's a fragile fish. I'm just hoping that would come unwrapped. Here, you pull that out. So, what is that, Grandpa?
So, China
Teacup.
cup that I brought from Canada.
Right. So, what does this teacup have to do with fishing?
I always bring a saucer and cup back from my fishing trip for Becky.
That's right. And it was like a big deal for us as kids to go, what cup would come from Canada this time? What cup would come? And so we have this huge collection of cups in our family room, teacups that Grandpa brought. And he would go all the way up to Great Slave Lake.
Yeah, Great Slave Lake.
How many hours was that one way?
That was one time. That was two and a half days driving.
One way.
Non-stop.
And what kind of fish did you catch?
Well, we caught caught walleye and mainly walleye, but there was a lot of steelheads and grayling, but they just wouldn't bite. They'd go by, they'd see the bait and just keep on going.
So the steelheads wouldn't bite, but what did bite you?
The
Grizzlies.
The mosquitoes.
They about carry you away.
And then
And the flies.
the flies, the deer flies,
deer flies and the no-see-ums.
no-see-ums.
And they were pretty ugly.
Yeah, we used to hear good fish stories, but the bug biting stories were better than the fish biting stories.
There's a lot of fishing, but the catching, that's the main thing.
Yeah, yeah. And then, but we always enjoyed when you bring the fish home and Grandma would cook up this most delicious fish fry ever, because she's such a great cook. It was so good. Well, let's see what else is in there. Let's fish again, Grandpa. Oh, this is a heavy one. What's in there?
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
Church a hymn book.
A hymn book? What does that have to do with Grandpa? We all know that Grandpa Ed loves the Lord, and he will, if you're going to open the Bible and study it, he wants to be there. And there's a certain passage in Psalms that he really takes very literally. It says, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing." We've all been blessed with individual gifts and talents. And let's just say Grandpa's very gifted at making a joyful noise. He's not going to be picked up by The Voice or American Idol. You don't have to worry about that. But Grandpa will belt out a hymn or a praise song with all the gusto he's got. And we really appreciate how fearless he is and what a joyful noise he makes. And we know that God appreciates your enthusiasm too. And I know Christine and I and all the kids really appreciate your fervor and your love for the Lord. And
Thank you so
we
much.
think that
I thank him
you're a
for
role
you.
model.
Amen.
Give up the word. All right, so what else is in the
whoops.
fishing hole? We forgot to throw that in. What next? Is there a nibble? Oh, there we go.
Ah,
Oh, it's really wiggling. What's this? Oh, that's good.
What
Cribbage.
is this? It's a weird combination of things.
Yeah, cribbage board.
Cribbage board and a Chrysler logo.
Yeah.
The reason we got this combination is because Dad worked in the third shift almost 30 years at Chrysler as a pipe fitter. And he worked those long nights, and one of the ways they would pass the time during breaks was play
Cribbage.
cribbage. And Grandpa was a cribbage champ. And we'd hear all kinds of stories about cribbage late at night. And I just remember Grandpa coming home. He'd go to work at 9 o'clock at night, and come home at 7 in the morning. He had scrambled eggs for dinner, which was our breakfast, and he'd have spaghetti for breakfast before he went to work because he'd sleep during the day. And it was just the one thing that was really tough was when it was winter time, and it'd be like wind chill of 70 below zero at 4 in the morning in the Chrysler parking lot, and he'd come home covered with this mask, and he looked like a modern day terrorist,
oh,
and having to leave the trickle charger on his car in the parking lot all night. But Grandpa really taught us the evidence and the fruit of an incredible work ethic. So we really appreciate that, Grandpa, for that.
Love you.
All right, let's fish again.
That's that line.
Reel it in, Grandpa.
Kind of bait you.
You ready?
Oh, good like that.
reel it in.
Got some action. Wanna reach in there?
Yeah. Oh, here, yeah. Senior chief.
Yeah, it says U.S. Navy, retired,
Retired.
senior chief. So you earned this, right?
Right?
After how many years?
20 years.
In what division or
And,
unit?
And CBs.
Yep, and Dad was in the reserves in the CB unit, and that meant he left home for a weekend every month to do active duty. And I think that was just probably a welcome relief to the night shift. But one of the fringe benefits was that he'd go away for 2 weeks every year for active duty to places like Gulfport, Mississippi. And our whole family would go down there, and he'd go to work at the base, and we'd go crabbing or go to Mardi Gras parades. And it was great fun for Mom and Christine and I. But then one year, he didn't go to Gulfport. He went to Barcelona, Spain for 2 weeks, and that was very cool. And then another year, he was on deck to go to Operation Desert Storm.
Right.
They were the next unit to deploy. And then what happened?
Well, then the war was over.
And the war was over. Praise God! Yay!
100-hour war.
It was a 100-hour war, and he didn't have to go. So the conflict ended, and we really appreciate, Dad, your sacrifice for our country and your service in our military and just the patriotism that you've taught us. So
Thank you.
thank you. All right, we've got one more time in the fishing hole.
Whoop, bring it back in the water.
You don't always catch that fish. It takes a while.
Do a little jigging back there.
Bait still there?
I guess so. Oh, he's got a live one. From the school here.
That's over the limit.
This is Grandpa's School of Fish, starting with Grandma, Mom Becky,
Wow.
me, the eldest daughter, my wonderful husband, Roy, my lovely sister, Christine. Where is she? Up to make coffee.
She left.
Yeah.
We went to check on Maverick.
She went for a run.
And her wonderful husband, David.
Right.
You just missed your big debut. The firstborn grandchild, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My the second.
You know the second is the best. You know
The
that,
firstborn
That's a
granddaughter,
myth.
Abby, and followed quickly by Sarah, and then Camille.
Abby,
and
you're the first two. What do you say?
I was taking care of the grand dog. So.
Oh.
Thank you.
He's not up there?
No, Maverick didn't make the cut. Too many, over the limit. The grandpa.
Well, thank
That
you.
is
I'll have to say
adorable.
this stringer.
Oh.
Well, we just want to, of course,
Picture.
love you very much, Grandpa.
Thank you. I love you all. And thank you all for coming.
Oh. Wow. That's cute.
What a joy to be with you all and with my grandkids and son-in-laws and I'm a blessed man with the son-in-laws I do have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thank you very much for coming. We're just so excited to celebrate Grandpa's 80th birthday. And Grandpa always says the first 100 years are the hardest. But he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that even though they can be hard, they're a joy to spend with you, Dad.
Well,
And,
thank you.
and we love the fact that we know that you're going to even a better future at some
Yeah,
point.
my promotion.
Your promotion. This is his birthday. That is his birthday. Happy birthday. Okay, Roy, do you wanna? Okay, so that was like the sweet part. I have no idea what Roy's gonna say.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
We never do.
Okay, get back there. We're gonna fish some more. No,
Oh.
I was told to keep it short and sweet and nice, and I promised to do that. And I have David up here to compliment me, I guess.
Yeah, right.
So there's so many things as son-in-laws, right? That's our title, that we're thankful for. So one of the things I was thinking is like all the just the common basic stuff, like teaching me how to solder copper pipe together, do plumbing work, do electrical work, all that pipe fitting work that he's done in the past. He's like passed it on down to me. So, you know, how many times have you put in a disposal for us, or the water heater and stuff like that? And I think probably some other people here he probably has helped out, and he's done that. But to get an idea of where he came from in 1936, I thought I'd just give a couple quick facts so the people that are a little bit younger like me would understand what happened. So a couple quick facts is the Hoover Dam was completed in 1936, right?
Wow.
You remember that? The wheel was invented in 1936. The average cost of a home was $3,925. The average wage a year was $1,713, and gas cost 10 cents a gallon.
Wow.
Wow, pretty good. Let's see, what else here? A pound of hamburger meat was 12 cents, and a loaf of bread was 8 cents. So maybe you remember those days. So some other things that happened back then too, from 36, because that was kind of the end of the Depression, so there's a lot of challenges out there. Jesse Owens tied a world record in the Olympics. In Germany, I think is where that was. BBC was
Jesse
formed.
Owens.
That would be a call out to David here from his background in the UK. Let's see what else is here. The Hindenburg took its maiden flight in Germany. Gone with the Wind was published. Let's see. This is getting old here. President Roosevelt was reelected to a second term. Out of 4, I guess, right? Sunscreen was invented back in 1936. But so some popular people that were also born in 1936. I don't know if anyone's here that's popular, but Jim Henson, David Carradine, Alan Alda. Let's see, Engelbert Humperdinck.
Oh, I remember.
You remember him? F.W. de Klerk. Chris Christopherson, Michael Landon, John McCain,
Wow.
Roy Orbison, Robert Redford, Burt Reynolds, and Yves Saint Laurent.
Oh,
I got that right.
very good.
And you were born actually on a Wednesday, on a hump day, which is great. And it's like your parents couldn't wait to get to the weekend. I think. So the other thing I was thinking is, it'd be nice to test his memory at his age here. And obviously he's had memory problems forever. We know that, right? Because why would you rename your dog Duke? And then Duke.
Guys, I can remember it.
So you can remember it. So I am. What's your dog's name again? Duke. Okay, so what I'm going to do is test your Bible knowledge. These should be really easy. Just the first couple starts of these verses here. John 3:16.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life.
Awesome.
Amen.
He won that
Yes.
one, right? That was
Yeah.
good. Okay, how about Luke 10:27? This might be a little bit harder. Love the Lord.
Love with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. And your neighbor as yourself.
That's it. That's another good one here, right? You got that one. So how about Romans 3:23?
For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God and the weight of sin is death. I got that one.
Yeah, you're pretty much on there. So, and then what's the name of your dogs again? Your second dog?
Dude.
Okay, so here's the big test. Exodus 1. I don't know it either. So we'll give you a pass on that one because that's a tough one. I was going to say numbers like 3 to 14 or something like that. So
Everybody gets
yeah, so one of the that brings many of us together is your love of the Lord, and the fact that you've mentored so many of us. You've walked us through verses of the Bible. You've been through many Bible studies with us. You've been through just many challenging times with many people in the group here, and we're so thankful, many of us, that when we've been through these different Bible studies, Mondays, Tuesdays, Friday, Thursday, Friday night, and stuff like that, that you are there and you're there to give us advice and run us through what the meaning of some of these verses in the Bible are and why it's so important to read it. So we're super thankful for that.
Faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So, since we're so thankful, we'd like to pray for Ed and thank him for the blessings that he's given us. But to do that, we thought it'd be a great idea, and I don't know if we can pull this off, but let's try to grab hands together and let's get us started as a circle or together. Or it doesn't have to be a circle, but let's get together.